Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Me, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. The very first initial leaks for chapter 1063 of One Piece have just come out, and now we have some really important information about the next events that are going to occur. Events in which Teach will become an even greater and more dangerous threat. So today's video, we're going to go over all this leaked information about One Piece chapter 1063, the information that we have, and then we're going to go a little deeper on what we could expect once we get the full chapter. But before we dive into the video, if you're new to the channel or even if you watched a bunch of our videos, we'd be absolutely honored if you'd leave us a like and even subscribe and maybe leave us a comment letting us know what you thought of the video. It really helps us out and motivates us to make more content. And if you'd like to help us out in a bigger way, consider sharing this video or your favorite with a friend. Without further ado, let's get into these leaks. So my friends, in this first leak of chapter 1063 of One Piece, we've got the beginning of a new saga. And now that all of these shadowy characters are starting to come out into the light, we're going to get some information about a great confrontation yet to come. Now, please keep in mind that these are just the initial leaks, and we don't have the complete information for this chapter. So as leaks come out, we will be sure to bring you more videos with more details. So make sure you stay tuned to this channel so we can keep you up to date on everything that's coming about in chapter 1063. One other thing to keep in mind before we get into this is that the way we mention things or even the order could end up being a little bit different when the official translation comes out. So we're just going to go with the small pieces of information that we've got, and hopefully we'll get everything for the full chapter very soon. So as we like to do with all of our leak videos, before going in depth and explaining what each topic of this leak might mean, we're going to give a list and overview of the topics so then we could take each one in turn as we go through 1063. And for this one, we've got a ton of things and a list of 20 items that are going to be revealed. So here is the list. Number 1, chapter 1063 is called My Only Family. 2, on the cover, we see that Cracker is frozen and Charlotte Brûlée is crying because Pudding had been kidnapped. 3, Luffy, Chopper, Jinbei, and Bonnie change clothes with a special Vegapunk machine. 4th, to add on a little bit more about the clothes, Luffy, Chopper, and Bonnie are wearing futuristic styled clothes, while Jinbei is looking to wear a Hawaiian style of clothing. 5, they meet Kuma, or at least a version of Kuma, who is acting as a uniformed police robot. Now he's a little different than the real one and wears round sunglasses and has robotic shoulders. 6, Kuma attacks them, so Luffy goes to hit Kuma back, but Bonnie gets in the way and stops him. 7, Bonnie says that Kuma is her real father and her only family, and we can see an image of a younger Kuma holding Bonnie when she was a child. 8, at least so far, there appears to be no news about Zoro's group in the chapter that's with the Thousand Sunny. 9, we have a scene change to another location. We see that Blackbeard is ambushing Law in the middle of the sea. 10, Blackbeard brings with him Jesus Burgess, Van Augur, Doc Q, and Stronger, all of whom now possess the power of a devil fruit. 11, Jesus Burgess possesses the Riki Riki no Mi that gives him unnatural strength. 12, Doc Q possesses the Shiku Shiku no Mi, allowing him to infect people with diseases. 13, Van Augur possesses the Wapu Wapu no Mi, giving him the ability to teleport people. 14, Stronger owns the Uma Uma no Mi, a Pegasus model mythical Zoan fruit. 15, Law escapes to a nearby island, but Van Augur teleports Burgess to the island first, and Burgess lifts an entire mountain and throws it at Law. 16, Doc Q arrives riding Stronger, while Teach is on top of both of them. 17, Doc Q uses his powers to turn Law into a woman for just a moment, but Law uses his haki to break the power of Doc Q's illness. 18, Law says that one with stronger haki can nullify the powers of a devil fruit, and he also says that he learned a lot in the battle against Kaido and Big Mom. 19, Blackbeard appears in front of Law, and he says that he had been wondering which of the 3 supernovas that left Wano that he would run into first. And finally, number 20, on the final page of the chapter, it shows Blackbeard and Law getting ready to fight. So now that we've covered the topics of this chapter, let's take each one in turn and talk about what they might mean and go in a little bit more detail, and how this whole chapter might come together once we get the official translation. Based on the information from this leak, the chapter starts with Luffy, Jinbei, Bonnie, and Chopper still talking to Punk number 6, and she's likely shown them to a place where they can get a change of clothes. This allows our crew to change into futuristic clothes because the ones they were wearing were all wet and possibly damaged from being in the ocean. And while walking, they find a robot Kuma, not the real one, but rather a Kuma dressed as a police officer. Considering how many different versions or Kumas we've seen in our story already, it's likely that there's quite a few more around the island. This one just happens to be responsible for arresting any invaders who go into the island without permission. And we see that a battle between Luffy and the Kuma robot is about to start, but Bonnie quickly jumps in between and intervenes. So she doesn't allow Luffy to fight back because this robot reminds her of her father. And then we see an image of a younger Kuma who was still in his human form revealed to us, along with a much younger Bonnie. We don't know much more about what happened, but the title of the chapter is focused on that event. So we'll have some dialogue from Bonnie telling us more about her father, allowing us to finally get to know more about Bartholomew Kuma. We may even get some revelations about the reasons that made him become a revolutionary, and even what made Kuma allow Vegapunk to modify his body to the point of turning him into a complete robot. As we said before, at least so far in this chapter, we aren't going to get any more information about the other part of the Straw Hat crew that are together with Punk Lilith. And they're probably going to the island and heading towards Punk Shaka, as we saw at the end of the last chapter in 1062. So it's only going to be in the next couple of chapters that we'll see this meeting between the Straw Hats and the first Punk from Vegapunk, a character that so far has proven to be considerably mysterious. The scene next changes to a place on the sea where we witness Law and Teach running into each other. And somehow Teach managed to intercept Law as he was sailing towards the island that he said he was going to go to once he left Wano. It seems that Teach was waiting for him to get information that he had learned during the confrontation with Kaido. So Teach gathered his most powerful pirates to capture Law and get the information that he had. So Teach brings along Jesus Burgess, Van Augur, Doc Q, and Stronger. And this is all so they can get the information that Law, Luffy, and Kid learned during their battle against Kaido. And then all of them demonstrate a new Devil Fruit power that they have earned. Jesus Burgess is shown to possess the Riki Riki no Mi, a possible paramecia that increases his muscular strength, giving him just abnormally huge strength, allowing his strength to compare to a Zoan user and increasing his combat potential. Next, we see Doc Q has gained the powers of the Shiku Shiku no Mi. Now, we don't know for sure if it's a Logia or a paramecia or some other type, but from the description it said that it may just be a paramecia, but it still gives him the ability to infect other people with diseases. After that, we learn that Van Augur has the Wapu Wapu no Mi, a paramecia that allows its bearer to teleport people to the place he wants. Now, we don't know if this fruit has other techniques or whether he has to know where he's sending people, but this is the only one that we've seen so far. And finally, we have the horse Stronger, and he had earned a very valuable fruit, the Uma Uma no Mi, a mythical Zoan fruit model Pegasus that gives him the ability to fly. Due to the fact that this is a mythical Zoan fruit, we don't know what different kinds of powerful techniques this fruit might have. It may even extend to the fact that he can have much faster flight than any other fruit would allow. So we'll have to wait and see what he shows us in these upcoming chapters. However, overall, it's still a little too early to guess the full abilities of all of Teach's Pirates fruits, and we don't even know if they're fully versed in them or have practiced. So we're going to need more information to be able to better get ideas about the powers of these fruits and what they might mean at their full potential. So as our scene continues, Law tries to flee to the nearest island, but Van Augur teleports Burgess to the island first, and upon arriving on the island, Burgess lifts an entire mountain and throws it at Law. However, Law could have easily destroyed the mountain or even teleported it to another place with his Devil Fruit that gives him his room ability, allowing him to escape this initial attack by Teach's pirates, but they hadn't finished attacking Law yet. We then see Doc Q appear next to Law riding Stronger, while Teach is on top of the both of them hitching a ride to approach Law. And once he approaches Law, Doc Q uses his powers to turn Law into a woman for just a moment. But Law uses his Haki to break the power of Doc Q's disease. And in the chapter, Haki is represented by white rays when Law uses it. Now, we don't know if it's Conqueror's Haki or just some kind of armament or common Haki that dissipates another fruit's power. Law explains to his enemies that if he has stronger Haki than them, he can nullify the powers of their Devil Fruit. And he also goes on to say that he had learned a lot from the battle against Kaido and Big Mom. Throughout the battle, he was able to learn how to use his Haki better, as well as learning to use the power of his Devil Fruit, and even managed to awaken his Devil Fruit during the fight with Big Mom, making him even more powerful and prepared for this battle that was just about to happen. Then, Teach appears right in front of Law, saying that he had been wondering which of the three supernovas that had just left Wano that he would be able to cross paths with first, and that person just so happened to be Law. So as they prepare their fight, Teach says that he is going to get all the information about the road poneglyph that Law has, because he knows that Kaido had one of them, while Law says that he is ready for battle and the winner will take all. And as we go to the final panel of chapter 1063, we see that Teach and Law are ready to fight and have a battle. battle. But this is how the ending of the chapter comes. Now, please keep in mind, as we said earlier, these are just the initial leaks, so make sure you stay tuned to our channel, because as more information comes out throughout the week, we will be sure to bring you back another video explaining all the other things that are going to be happening in chapter 1063. But with all these initial leaks, my friends, we'd now love to know what you think about it. How do you think Teach's crew got all these devil fruits? Do you think this is what he's been doing in the shadows, just collecting different devil fruits so that he can build up a really strong crew? Or perhaps did these devil fruits already belong to the crew members and we just hadn't seen them yet? Next, what do you think the outcome is going to be between Law and Teach? Now, Law seems to be very confident in his Conqueror's Haki, or at least his regular Haki, because we haven't had it confirmed if he is a Conqueror or not. But do you think that's going to be enough to fight against the fruit that Teach has that nullifies devil fruits? And finally, what are you most excited to learn about Kuma? We've had a lot of different details and mystery about this character, and we've all wondered and speculated why he would have given his body over to Vegapunk. So why do you think he might have done that? Let us know what you think about all this in the comments below. So as we bring our video to an end, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching the video all the way up to the very end. Be sure you comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you made it this far, give us a like and hit that red subscribe button before you head out to take on the rest of your day. I hope to see you all in our next video. Let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.